been less than 2 weeks since the murder of Charlie Kirk in Utah, and this weekend in Arizona, Turning Point USA hosted a memorial service, a funeral of sorts, for Charlie. Lots of different speakers, including the President of the United States. Now, like most of you, I wasn't in attendance. I was looking on social media and I was seeing the videos and the clips and stuff being shared of this memorial, and I gotta say, it didn't really feel like a memorial service. In fact, it kind of felt more like the Super Bowl. Now, I'm not an event organizer. I don't know how long it takes to put together something like this, but with the fireworks and the pyrotechnics and all the whoop-wooing in the crowd, it did feel strange to me, ladies and gentlemen. It felt really strange. Now, I know everything is bigger in the United States. It is, and America has a tendency to basically turn everything into the WWE. But having said that, this just feels off to me. Like I said, I don't know how long it takes to put together an event like this, but 11 days from his assassination to an event this size, like I say, I'm not an event organizer, but that takes some serious doing. And another takeaway for me on this is I don't know Charlie Kirk. I never knew Charlie Kirk. But this doesn't strike me as something that kind of represents him in any way. In fact, it feels more like a political rally. Now, if you look at Charlie Kirk's events, it's one guy stood there under a little marquee talking to the audience. He doesn't have all these pyrotechnics. He doesn't have all this stuff. He doesn't have screens and monitors and stuff. It's one guy with a microphone using his mind and his words. Now, whether you agree with Charlie Kirk's words or not, I agree with some, I disagree with some. You kind of got to give someone credit for that and just say, look, one guy with a microphone. So this, to me, doesn't really feel like it's representing him. It feels almost like this is exploiting his widow, this is exploiting the family, and this is trying to push a political agenda because, like I say, it feels like a political rally. And when that music was kicking in there just before Erica started to speak, and you could hear the whoop-wooing in the crowd and stuff like that, I'm thinking, is someone going to start dancing in a minute? Is he being serious? He stood next to Charlie Kirk's widow at a memorial funeral service, and he's giving it the dancing. He's a shameless geezer, isn't he? And I've got to say, like, people will be watching this going, oh, it's more Trump derangement syndrome. I mean, there's plenty of that about. I'm not sure how much of it I've got. But think about if Joe Biden was at a memorial service like this, a funeral service, and he starts dancing. Mate, everyone would be all over him, and rightly so.
And tomorrow we're going to have one of the biggest announcements, really medically, I think, in the history of our country. We're going to be doing it with Bobby and Oz and all of the professionals. I think you're going to find it to be amazing.
Donald, it's a funeral.
I think we found an answer to autism. How about that? Autism. Tomorrow we're going to be talking.
Is anything not about Donald Trump? Like, genuine question. Is anything not about him? Just so I know for future reference. When he's outside the White House and he's asked by a reporter, how are you holding up after Charlie's murder? Charlie, who is supposedly like a son to him, he I'm fine, deflects the conversation to talking about a ballroom he's building at the White House. That's not normal behaviour. To be dancing, giving it that one next to Charlie's widow is not normal behaviour. And then when you get asked to speak at a memorial service for another human being, you're talking about what you're going to be doing in terms of autism. You're not got anything to say about Charlie. Isn't that the point of this whole thing? It's supposed to be a memorial service, not you pitching what you're going to do as president. And I've got to say, even RFK Jr. looked a little bit awkward in that. I don't know if you spotted that. When the camera cuts to him, his face is a bit kind of, this isn't normal, Donald. No, it's not, Donald. But narcissists do what narcissists do, don't they? Extraordinary. It's almost like he's enjoying the attention because it's Donald Trump. He loves the attention. But also it's deflecting everyone else's attention away from the Epstein files.
I think the DOJ should immediately move to unseal all the Epstein documents in the Southern District of New York.
Yeah. Everything.
And
Everything except child sexual assault material.
I think every file should be released to the public the same way as the JFK files. Let the American people decide.
Put them out.
I agree with you, Charlie, mate. I agree with you.